welcome back to Simply Home and Harvest. I'm Jen, and today we've got several things that we're trying to do to get ready for cooler weather. Also, my family is leaving for vacation tomorrow, so I knew that I had to stop putting off this project and go ahead and knock it out today. And that is overwintering these beautiful geraniums. If you were with me back in the spring, you remember that project probably. I had maybe 50 seedlings and we ended up with 6 beautiful geranium plants. So I put 3 in one pot and 3 in another, but they look absolutely gorgeous. There's still some buds on them. So I'm going to try to overwinter them. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and split them up into their 3 smaller plants, put them in another container, and then bring them inside for the winter. So this will totally be an experiment this year. I've never done anything like this before. So we're gonna try it. And then also you'll see the green stalk there behind me, which is still full of strawberry plants, and some of them have rooted and are sprouting new plants from the mother plant, and they are green and beautiful, and probably as soon as frost hits them, all that will change. So I'm gonna order a cover, I think, and get those protected. So lots of projects to do. All right, I had to move inside for a second, but you'll see in the background that I did find a tree. I'm so excited. I love this tree already. Still got a little bit of fluffing out to do, but I did find a tree at Home Depot. This is the Jackson Noble 7.5-foot tree. And no, I did not get the Grand Duchess that I wanted because it is currently out of stock and not even available online. So I didn't want to keep waiting. I wanted to go ahead and pick a tree out so that we could get it up. So I'm in the process of decorating. Also, another project is curtain rod, finally going up on this window. Hopefully that will give a little bit of completeness to this space, but I'm going to show you a little video of how we put this tree together. And so far so good. I really like it. It was more affordable than the other option. This one at Home Depot was $2.99. And like I said, I went back and forth, but felt like it would be a good investment. I did lots of research. I looked at reviews. I talked to other people that had trees like this, and all was very good. So I went ahead and just made the decision to buy a new one. And I'm glad I did, because when I took it out of the box, and you'll see in the video, started putting it together, I was like, oh my goodness, how easy. Definitely excited about that purchase. So here's a little clip of that video, which I'll probably make into a short, so you might get to see it twice. After 20 plus years of putting together a tree limb by limb, it was time for an upgrade. We decided to go with the 7.5-foot Jackson Noble Fir tree from Home Depot. What I like most about this tree is how easy it is to put together. And it was about $249, but it comes in 3 pieces. You just pop them right into the base. The tree just kind of like forms itself. There is a minimal fluffing to do to get your branches perfect. And I also like that it comes with a remote so that you can switch back and forth between warm lights, steady lights, or a combination of both. I love this tree. I'm so happy with my purchase, and I'm excited to enjoy it for years and years to come. Oh, and one more thing. I'm gonna show you a recipe for a chicken bake that we made a couple of days ago, and I wanted to include that in this video as well. So this video is just gonna be kind of a hodgepodge of different projects and that recipe. It was delicious. I'll definitely try it again. It's one of those that you've got like a good base and foundation, and you could change up the meat that goes in it. You could add vegetables. So just a very easy and adaptable recipe. So I wanted you to have that as well going into this busy holiday season. Okay, speaking of busy, I better get busy because I've got packing to do, and I got a lot of other things before I can even get to that. So let's first get these geraniums potted up, then I'll show you the recipe. I need to head to the building real quick and get the pots that I want to use for the geraniums. But first I wanted you to see this. Chickens are out here free ranging today in the garden because there's nothing in there that they can harm, but I feel like they're in timeout because they have been bad little girls lately. They got away, all 10 of them, from us the other day and dug in the neighbor's mulch. And Alex and I had to go do some landscaping work, and so they are in timeout because they cannot be trusted to free range. They're also molting. I don't know if you can see, there's one over there that's really molting. So tis the season for that. Egg production's getting a little bit better, but we know it's gonna die off again here soon with the shorter days. But all in all, everybody's doing well. This one was sick for a while, but she recovered, so all is well in the chicken world. Yeah, I pretty much thought I was recording the whole time, but I don't think I was. So in the event that I wasn't, let me show you what we've done. We removed as much of the root ball from each of these as we could. I've got 4 terracotta plants, terracotta pots, and 2 regular pots here that we're gonna try to just go ahead and use to replant these. I removed leaves that looked bad, but I left, like, there's a bud. I don't know if it's on this one, but on a couple of them, and I'm just leaving all the green on because they still look so good. I may actually put them in my kitchen window for a few weeks, and then we'll just remove leaves as we need to through the winter, because I do suspect that they're going to die back a little bit. So we're just basically keeping this preserved so that we can replant these next spring and continue to enjoy the fruits of our labor. All right, so we're gonna get these in dirt and then get them moved, and hopefully you'll get to see that process. Okay, we're gonna pause here for a second and move on to this chicken bake recipe that I wanted to share with you all. Then I'll show you what we did with our geraniums here later in the video. The first thing I'm doing is I went ahead and cooked my chicken, and I'm shredding it up. And this is something that a family member shared with me on how to shred your chicken after you've cooked it. And that is to put it in your stand mixer and let it do the work for you. So I thought I would give it a try, and y'all, I'm sold. I will always shred my cooked chicken this way from now on. This recipe is so easy. It calls for simple ingredients, and here is how we made this delicious chicken bake. All right, we're gonna make a chicken bake. This is the first time I've ever made this, but it looked super simple, and I thought I would give it a try to go along with all the Thanksgiving sides that I made for our dinner tonight, which you have already seen a video on. So in this 13x9 baking dish, I have melted 1 stick of butter, and I just put this in the oven with the stick of butter and let my oven preheat, and as it was preheating, then it went ahead and melted that stick of butter. So I'm gonna put that to the side. I'm gonna bring you down to where you can see, and we're gonna do everything in steps. Now, this recipe is one of those, it's kind of like a cobbler recipe. You do not want to stir any of your ingredients as you are putting them into your dish. So that's gonna be challenging, but we're gonna do it. All right, let me bring you down. Now, the first thing we wanna do is combine our cooked chicken with our seasonings. This is 4 cups of cooked and shredded chicken. And I'll add that trick where I boiled my chicken and then I put it in my stand mixer and shredded it up. That was so neat. I've never done that before, but my cousin's husband told me about it one time when he was making chicken salad, and I've always wanted to try it. And now I know that is a great trick and one that I will use forever now. Okay, so there's our chicken, and then we're gonna add in a 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder. And then our recipe calls for 1/2 teaspoon of poultry seasoning. I could not find any poultry seasoning, so I need to add that to my grocery list. But I do have the garlic and herb, and it has a lot of the same seasonings that the poultry season does. So I'm gonna add a 1/2 teaspoon of both of these. And you know what? We're just gonna eyeball it. We're gonna get all of our seasonings mixed in with our chicken. And this we can stir. Just not when it's in the dish. All right, now that they're well blended, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna take our baking dish here, and I am just going to spread this over top of the butter in our dish. And I'm just gonna try to do it evenly. So we can spread, we just can't stir. So let's just go ahead and spread that out a little bit. Get it into the corners, make sure our pan is covered there. So you can spread, just don't stir. The next thing we want to do is combine our Bisquick or baking mix and our milk. I've got 2% milk here. Use a whole milk if you have that on hand, but I don't, so I'm just going to use my 2%. So this is 2 cups of baking mix. and 1.5 cups of milk. Now we are going to stir these two together until everything is incorporated and blended very well. We get all the lumps out. Guess what we're going to do? We're going to pour this evenly over our chicken. This is when you get to practice your pouring accuracy. Now I'm going to use this same bowl to mix my next 2 ingredients, which is 1 can of cream of chicken and 1 cup of chicken broth. Now I've reserved this chicken broth from cooking my chicken on the stove. And now we are going to mix these together. So simple, very simple, just gotta follow the directions. All right, same thing, just gonna pour this evenly right over the top. We'll start on this side. I think we did a pretty good job. Okay, now that's all there is to it. Now we just have to bake it. We're gonna bake it in a preheated 350-degree oven for 1 hour. We will not stir anything, and you're gonna bake it until it is brown and bubbly. And I know it's gonna be amazing. Okay, you guys, well, I'm gonna leave you here. You see, progress is being made. The tree is up. There is a total Christmas mess as we were trying to figure out where to put things. But I wanted to show you guys something before I let you go. I thought you'd be happy to see where the geraniums are and what they're looking like today. So I did end up moving them to the garden window right above our kitchen sink. And they are so pretty. It's been a few days. I did have to remove some leaves. You can see this one's starting to yellow a little bit too. I think they got really cold because this area does hold in a lot of cold air. But look at the pretty blooms. I wanted you all to see these. Now this will not be their permanent resting spot. I'm gonna have to find a space downstairs to put them. That one doesn't have any blooms, but this one, it's hard to get it on the camera. This one's got one. And then last but not least, my little pink salmon over here that's got the different leaves, the darker color variation in its leaves, and then it's that pink salmon color. That is my absolute favorite, so I'm going to get to enjoy some blooms. But I didn't want to move these to their permanent resting spot for the winter until I enjoyed all the beautiful blooms on them, and I thought y'all would enjoy seeing those as well. All right, guys, well, that's all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me, getting some projects checked off our list. And I've got lots more to come. Boy, we're going to get this house decorated, flip it over for Christmas, and so many other things. Lots of good, delicious food and recipes headed your way, maybe even some DIY projects. So stay tuned. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Give this video a like. You can even share it with the people you love. I just appreciate you taking the time to hang out with me today. So until next time, remember to live simply, use what you have, enjoy the moments you've been given, and I will see you all in the next one.